Krishna, the best mentor, the 10th lesson. Answer logically the honest inquiries. Sometimes when a boss is giving an order to a subordinate, and the subordinate has some questions to ask, then the boss thinks, why do I have to answer your questions? Just do the thing that I told you. Don't you have trust in me? No, I am so experienced. I know what I am doing. So you just do what I am telling you. So this type of attitude does not befit a good leader. A good leader is one who is willing to answer the honest and humble inquiries of the subordinates logically, without any sentimental blind faith. Is willing to explain. I'll tell you a couple of examples from Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna asked a question to Krishna. Aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasvatah katametad vijaniyam tvamadau proktavaniti. He's asking him, my dear Krishna, you say that you gave this Bhagavad Gita millions of years ago to your swan, sun god. How is it possible? You and me are born at the same time, we are contemporaries, and you say that you gave this knowledge millions of years ago. Can you please clarify this to me? And Krishna is also not becoming angry. He is responding very peacefully. He is telling answer to this question in this way. He is saying, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacharjuna tanyakam veda sarvani natvam veda parantapa. My dear Arjuna, you and I have taken many births in this world. I can remember all of them, but you cannot, because I am God and you are an ordinary Jivatma. He is saying that. Arjuna asked the question and Krishna gave a very precise answer. So I was born millions of years ago and I appeared in this world and he gave the knowledge to Vivaswan. But you cannot remember all those births. Since I am God, I can remember all of them, Krishna said. And Arjuna was satisfied. You see, sometimes a subordinate has some doubts about the instruction of the superior. And when he asks questions to superior may consider it an insubordination. He may consider it a rebellion. So I am telling you to do, you are rebelling against me? You are not listening to me? That's not what Krishna does. Krishna is giving clarification. There is another instance which comes in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna was telling Arjuna that you should always be on the righteous side, not on the wrong side. And at that time, Arjuna had a question. Krishna, in this world, if somebody wants to give up the path of vice and come to the path of virtue, it is like two clouds. One wants to leave this vice cloud and come to the virtue cloud. But while going from here to here, some small cloud may become a ribbon cloud, or it may get lost. Similarly, somebody who is giving up the sinful life in this world and wants to take a virtuous life, if he doesn't become fully virtuous, and at the same time he has given up the companions in his sinful circle, then he is neither here nor here. What will happen to him? Like that Arjuna asked a question. So Arjuna asked a question which almost all of us will get in our minds. The 6th chapter he asked this question. Now Krishna can chastise Arjuna saying that I am telling you to come to virtue, you don't want to come. He didn't say that. He in fact glorified him. You know what he said? Parthanai veganamutta vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyana krit kaschid durgatim tata gacchati. My dear Arjuna, anyone who takes to the path of going to virtue, he will never get lost. In fact, he is a good soul. He is a fortunate soul. Since he is aspiring to come to the good path, that very direction, that very endeavor will be very pleasing to the Lord. And Lord will certainly store the quantity of virtue that a person has done while progressing towards the virtuous life. Even if a person has done very little service to God, that will be stored, that will never be lost. In this way, Krishna gave a pat on the back of Arjuna. Oh my dear son, oh my dear darling. Like that he encouraged him. So, we find in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is a philosopher, friend and guide. He is the mentor of Arjuna. And we find it's a book of question and answers. And there is no blind following. You can ask questions to your superior without any fear. Whether I'll get answer or not. Whether I'll get a chastisement or not. No. One is allowed to ask questions. and one will get beautiful answers. And after getting the answers, you can be logically convinced. And then with full faith, trust and confidence, one can walk the path ahead, which will be lit up for you. With no ambiguity, no doubts, one can march and emerge victorious. Therefore it is said the Pandavas were most fortunate because they had Krishna on their side. Jayastu Pandu Putranam Yesham Pakshe Janardana. The Pandavas considered that all our material skills and abilities are like a string of zeros. And having Krishna on our side is like putting a 1 in the front. If you have 5 zeros and you put a 1, what happens? It becomes 1 lakh. So our material qualifications are like a string of zeros. When we have the Lord, who is the supreme mentor, the philosopher, friend and guide, who is teaching us how to be real leaders, real masters, or we can say how to be true servant leaders to those people whom we are serving. Whether you are a mother and father, whether you are a principal of a school or a president of a company, you are prime minister of a country, whoever you be, we all are mentoring people who are put in our custody by God. So we are custodians of many people under us. Let us learn from Krishna, who is the supreme mentor, the best mentor, how to do this mentoring process based on his own teachings in Gita.